Hey guys, this is Matt,
And Jordan.
and welcome back to Catch Pillow Talk.
Welcome to a very quiet version of Couch Pillow Talk because it's late.
Welcome to a very pillow Christmas.
Oh man, we have lots to talk about, and we're going to get to some good stuff later on.
I thought you said something super weird there. I thought you said, we have what's to talk about?
Actually, we've got less to talk about than usual, but one thing is going to take up a very big chunk of this.
Oh yeah, and
But let's...
if you've read the title, you've probably already know
Yeah,
what
the
it
title will
is.
probably be themed around it. So let's go from the top, as we usually do.
Okay, heads, shoulders, knees. Oh,
So the next Avengers movie is called Infinity War.
correct.
But it turns out that the Russo brothers, the directors, may be thinking of changing
What?
the name of it. So here's the article. It's from the Nerdist. I love the Nerdist. They're so good. There's something else I wanted to show you, but we went to the movie, so I missed it. It was about Studio Ghibli in VR, like
Yeah.
the world of Studio Ghibli.
That'd be sick.
Yeah, that's very cool. Anyway, off topic. So they directed Civil War, and they're also directing Infinity War. So they did both, which is cool.
Yeah.
But they reckon that they're going to make both the Avengers sequels have different titles. It says the intention is we will change it. We just haven't come up with the titles yet, said Jay Rosso when he was speaking with Upper Rocks. But yes, we will change it. And yes, that is a scoop. We will retire. He just said a lot of the same stuff. We will retire them. They want to explain that Avengers Infinity War Part 1 and Part 2 were misleading names for their sequels, which they insist will actually function as separate movies.
Yeah.
We have reached out to Marvel Studios for confirmation, but we have not yet received it. Assuming that Marvel's plan is to drop the original title for these Avengers movies, there are quite a few Infinity names that could still work for the movie. Infinity Gauntlet miniseries features Thanos' attempt to make blah 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 blah. The comic book sequels Infinity War and Infinity Crusade both seem to have more cinema-friendly names. They could simply change one of the names to Infinity Crusade and maintain Infinity War title for the other sequel, or perhaps the Infinity name will be dropped entirely. The story of Thanos' rise to power with the Infinity Stones was depicted in The Thanos Quest. Does Avengers The Thanos Quest sound like an alternative title? A viable alternative title?
No.
What do you think, Matt? While I grab some snackies.
I think a way that they could go with this, sick rustling by the way, is
They survived.
if they don't want it to be part 1 and part 2, maybe they're aiming because part 1 is the beginning, part 2 is the end.
Oh.
That's the way it sounds like it would go from part 1 part 2. But
Obviously, yeah.
if they want part 1 to be the end and then part 2 to be a new beginning, then calling it part 1 and part 2 wouldn't make sense. So I think they could go that direction with it, which I would be kind of happy with. That would be kind of cool.
Yeah, I think we talked about this last time. My theory about what will happen at the end of Infinity War Part 1,
Yeah.
which is potentially Captain America's death.
Yeah.
Because, don't head in too much spoiler territory, but he's been signed on for a certain amount of films since he made the first Captain America, and everyone's saying that the last film that he has in his contract is Infinity War, and technically Part 1 and Part 2 are separate films, but same filming though, so I don't know how that would count, but
Yeah.
unless he has renegotiated his contract since, Infinity War could very much be his last film. And I think it'd be cool if at the end of Part 1 we see Captain America getting killed, and then at the start of the next one is the Avengers trying to rebuild and come back, and then they have a motive to fight Thanos, apart from just, Thanos is a douchebag. But yeah, I don't know, I think it'd be very cool to see, even though it's kind of crappy to see Steve Rogers go, because he's such a cool character, but
Yeah.
he can still come back. It's Marvel, you never know.
Yeah. I'm keen to see how they do it.
Yeah, I think...
I hope they. I don't know how much I want them to stick to the original story, because most of the time I want it to stay like straight on true to the comics when I'm watching the movies based on them. But cinematically, I can't see the story of Thanos working amazingly well.
And also, there's already a lot of liberties they've taken with the comic book stories and changed a bit, like Ultron being from Tony Stark and not Hank
Yeah.
Pym. And that worked in the end, because I don't know how many people I know that saw Ant-Man. Not a lot. So,
But-
having Hank Pym make Ultron, they'd be like, who the hell's Hank Pym? What is
Yeah.
this?
Do you know how, like it ends with Thanos and that?
No, I don't think I do, actually.
Okay. I'm not sure I really want to say at the moment, just in case they do go down that way. If you want those spoilers, then go look them up yourself. But
Yeah, maybe keep that one under your hat.
yeah, like if they do it the way that it is in the comics, it is just everyone's just gonna see it as like a cheap way out to solve everything and whatever.
Yeah.
Which would be kind of crappy.
Absolutely. Even though I don't know what the ending is, I say absolutely.
When's Doctor Strange coming out?
Oh.
Is that this year or next year?
I don't know. I think...
Because I think he could play a big role in it.
Well, I'll just find out. How about that? Just Google it. What a wonderful invention Google is.
I hope they bring Adam Warlock into it. Because, like, they've hinted at him in a couple of other movies.
Oh, yeah.
And
This year.
Yeah, sick. I'm very keen to that.
Yeah. This year is coming out, which is very good. It's scheduled for release on November 4th, 2016.
Sick.
Awesome. Alright.
I'm so down.
I'm so down for that as well. I don't even know enough about Doctor Strange, but I don't care. I'll watch it.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be awesome.
Yeah. Everything Marvel are doing at the moment is so on point, so
Yeah.
I'm fully on board.
I think
with
that's why we
everything.
talk about them all the time in the podcasts.
Well, they're just relevant all the time.
Yeah, pretty much.
Can't help it. And they're going to be relevant for at least another 12 years, because that Phase 4 stuff we want to talk about, they're planned up to 2028
Yeah. Flipping hell.
for Phase 4.
That's crazy.
And with all the comic book superheroes and properties they have that they can reshuffle and move through,
Oh, yeah.
we're going to be entertained by Marvel for the rest of our lives, probably.
I hope so.
Like, until you and I are like 70. And then going past that, probably even longer. So, it's insane. It's going to be super good. I'm super keen. For Infinity Ward. Infinity Ward. Infinity War. Especially after what we saw tonight. Yeah.
Oh, hinting.
I'm still acting coy about it. It's going to be in the title.
Illusion.
It was Civil War, guys. We saw Civil War.
No, you ruined it.
It's in the title. Whatever. Alright. I think that's a good point to maybe move on. I hope they liked me leaning into the mic there. That was killer. I just want to make sure I didn't skip over anything. I did not. Alright. So, X-Men Apocalypse is coming out very soon.
Yes, it is.
I think I saw a thing that said it's May 16th, which is this week.
6 days.
Yeah, in 6 days. There you go. Thanks,
okay.
thanks, Sarah. Yeah, but this topic is not about X-Men Apocalypse. This is about the next X-Men movie. So, First Class did a soft... Well, First Class didn't really do a soft reboot. I'd say Days of Future Past was the reboot for X-Men. But either way, they rebooted it, and X-Men Apocalypse is set to rain destruction down upon the 1980s. And logic suggests the next installment might continue that decade-hopping trend, since First Class was 60s and 70s and Future Past. So, producer Simon Kinberg confirmed during an interview with Coming Soon, the next one is set in the 90s.
Yep.
We think he's referring to the Apocalypse sequel. He doesn't specifically mention the main X-Men series, so he could be talking to many of the spin-offs in the pipeline. While we're talking about that, where does Deadpool fit into this?
What do you mean in the timeline?
Like, I know it's kind of standalone, but I'm willing to bet that Fox is going to try and integrate him into X-Men at some point. So where exactly does his movie stand in the timeline stuff?
I don't know.
Because they never established a time period for it either, did they?
Not really.
Not to my recollection.
It seems like it's like pretty much like right now, but the fact that Colossus is like a proper man, when previously we've seen him in X-Men as like a teenager.
Yeah.
I'm not really sure.
I think... Excuse me. I think I'd want to think that it's set current day after the reboot.
Yeah.
So at the end of Future Past, when we see Wolverine go back to the X-Mansion,
Yeah.
and everyone's there, and... You right, Lily?
Calm down.
Go away. Don't interrupt our podcast with your wheezing. But anyway, when we see him go back to the X-Mansion and everyone's fine, and everything's go back to the way it is, I'd assume it'd be in that time period after the reboot happens.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's not important. So this one's going to revolve around mutants in the 90s. And this site here, which is Games Radar, is saying that it's likely that it's going to revolve around the new mutants. So 2 Apocalypse characters will be in attendance: Alexandra Shipp's Storm and James McAvoy's Professor X. If his movie works as an in-universe bridge between the two, or the main X-Men films, it might make sense to carry on to their 90s. There's also X-Force, which is a mutant team led by Deadpool. Ooh.
Yeah, that would be sick.
Are they... Yeah, they are. Fox wants to make an X-Force movie, which will be R-rated.
Heck yeah.
Man, that is cool.
Oh, so good. Yeah, it has to be R-rated. They're basically the X-Men, just violent and
That is
crazy.
awesome. May 18th is when Apocalypse is coming out in the UK, so don't know what that means for here, but man, we were talking with Jake when he saw Civil War with us. He hasn't been on the show yet, but he will be. But we were talking with him about Yeah, I lost track of what I was going to say there. What are we talking about? I'm talking about Apocalypse. Oh man, I don't know where I was going with that now. I really forgot what that was. Point of that was. Oh man, I wish I could remember now. Whatever.
Do you want to pause the audio and listen back?
No. We'll just continue. Oh
Talk
man.
about something R18.
X-Force.
Something RT and X-Force. Yeah, no, I've lost it. Whatever.
Nice.
But I know what it was. It came back to me. We were talking about how Fox was making the X-Men movies, and he said he'd rather X-Men just go back to Marvel.
Yeah.
And I said that what they're doing with X-Men lately is actually working for Fox, and they've shown that they can actually do it.
Yeah.
So I don't see it going back to Marvel at any point, and I'm kind of digging what Fox is doing.
Yeah.
Deadpool's good. They gave the director and Ryan Reynolds enough creative liberty to make it good.
Yeah, pretty much like it seems that if Fox is controlling it, then it's not going that great. If Fox just backs up and funds it, basically, then it goes pretty good.
So, X-Force, I'm on board with that.
Yeah.
And X-Men Apocalypse, I'm on board with that too.
Absolutely.
I'm on board with much of the stuff they're doing right now. It's really good. I'd like to see X-Men in the 90s as well, because I don't think the first two really established a time period themselves, like X-Men and X-Men 2.
How, like... So they're keeping the same actors again for the next one? Because, like...
For like Apocalypse or for the one after
No,
that?
for the one after.
Well, we don't know what it's going to be yet. We don't know if it's going to be a main
Didn't you
X-Men
just say
movie.
Storm would still be in it and that?
Yes, it's still going to be Storm, and it's still going to be James McAvoy's Professor X, so they're keeping the young actors through the 90s.
So, it started in the 70s, and they have only aged a couple of years in 30 years.
Well, you never know, they might make him look good, like older.
They, I don't know. I guess I'll wait and see it. I'm not going to pass judgment.
You don't reserve judgment yet. I'm really hoping they nail the 80s as well, like, there's like the music and like punk rock and stuff like that, that'd be great. It'd be awesome to see that sort of stuff. That's what I was interested to see with superheroes, is how their environment bounces off their personalities.
Yeah.
Well, we haven't seen it much now, but going back in time like that, it's a perfect opportunity to be like, okay, how do these guys react to like Nirvana in the 90s? I think it'd be really cool. I like to think that Quicksilver probably listens to it on his headphones when he's doing those running segments.
Yeah. And I, like, even
though I don't like Nirvana.
a cool thing that they could do to like reinforce that whole thing is, if the costumes didn't look really good and really modern, if they were a little bit corny and whatever, if they were a bit cheesy and over the top, because back then that sort of stuff was.
Yeah.
And they had crazier costumes in the past.
I'm not sure how I want that to go. It's a bit of a tricky one. Because I do like more sensible designs that they're doing.
So do I, for sure. Just saying, like, if say, like, there's, like, one superhero that's, like, made his own costume that turns up in it, and, like, it's just like, a crappy fluoro-coloured whatever.
And so I want to show you while we're on this topic here. I'm going to write it down as well, because I want to show pictures of this on the thing. It's Captain America's costume, and they ruin it in Avengers, the first one.
Mm-hmm.
Let me just make a note of this.
I still don't think they ruined it. I don't know why everyone has a problem with it.
I don't know, it looks funny to me. You've seen the pictures? I'm going to show them to you again anyway. So, there's a big thing about... Actually, I don't really agree with that either.
Yeah.
His costume in Avengers looks pretty similar to his original costume in the first movie. But I do like what they've done with his costume now. They made it look more modern and make sense. Yeah. So I'm just going to show this one picture then. That's what he looks like in Avengers.
Mm.
And, I don't know, it's almost identical to his one in the original movie. But I don't really like it. I kind of like what they've gone with it and done with it now.
Yeah, the one now is definitely better, but I don't think it's like... It got heaps of backlash for something.
It's not terrible. It could be better, but it's not terrible.
A lot of people took a big old dump on it.
I'm just going to say, I didn't notice it when I first saw the movie. It didn't catch my attention that the costume looked a bit near.
Yeah.
So, whatever. That was a weird aside that didn't go anywhere in the end. I'll put the picture on the screen anyway. You guys can judge for yourselves of the costume. His costume looks great now, so...
You look great now.
Thank you.
It's alright, man.
I like how, even though we're talking about X-Men, we still ended up on Captain America somehow. Anyway, moving on. We were talking about this as we walked on. You might realise it was a podcast topic, because you read the stuff earlier. The Black Widow movie.
Yeah. I don't think... Okay.
Shall I read out the actual topic and a bit of the article first? Okay. So the topic is that Marvel is committing, in quotations, to a solo Black Widow movie. I almost said solo black movie.
Black Panther.
Well, so says Kevin Feige, who was like the head producer of like everything Marvel at the moment. Whenever he's involved, that means it's going to be good. So every Black Widow appearance in Marvel's cinematic universe increases more talk for a solo movie with Scarlett Johansson's resourceful heroine. But despite the increasing demand, Marvel have yet to pull the trigger on a standalone film, and now with Civil War, the conversation's only gotten louder, and Kevin Feige has finally said something about it. He says, we've announced the next 9 movies, 10, counting Civil War, through to the end of 2019. Wow, they got 9 movies coming out before 2019's over.
Yeah.
That's insane.
That's awesome.
Where we go beyond that, ongoing discussions that we'll focus on in the next few years because we have a lot to do before then. Makes sense? Of the characters you've just mentioned, I would say certainly the one creatively and emotionally we're most committed to doing is Black Widow. We think she's an amazing character, and Scarlett Johansson's portrayal of her is amazing. She's a lead Avenger and has amazing stories in her own right to tell that we think would be fun to stand into a standalone franchise. Franchise. Not just a movie, franchise. That's interesting. And it says they recently dropped the Inhumans from their Phase 3 slate.
So annoyed.
Could the Black Widow standalone movie take its place?
No. Bring it back.
Matt is so angry.
I want the Inhumans so bad, man.
Okay, now you can say what you wanted to say about Black Widow.
So, they're not going to bring her out until at least, like, earliest 2018, right?
From what I'm seeing here, yeah? Somewhere around there.
It could work. I think at this point in time, like, if they released it now, it wouldn't be very popular. Like, a lot of people think it would be, but they'd have to do it differently, like, really differently than the Avengers and, like, then all the other solo movies coming out. It'd have to be really gritty and, like, espionage, and it would be, a different genre almost. It wouldn't even seem that much like a superhero movie because she doesn't have powers or anything. But
at the same
as a character
time,
at the moment, she doesn't really hold enough water. Like, she doesn't... I don't know, she's not main enough a character for it.
Yeah.
I guess. She's sort of B-list Avenger. I mean, like, she's like one of the main Avengers, whatever, but she's not really.
Compared to the other ones, she's, yeah.
So, I don't think it would work that well at the moment. But if they do more stuff with her before 2018, then they could send it in the right direction to set up for that sort of thing.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know. I think the espionage angle is very good.
Mm-hmm.
We've had a bunch of espionage movies recently that have done well, like Man from U.N.C.L.E. Even though people hate on that movie, I thought it was very good. So they have, and Marvel's great at everything they do, pretty much.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I just see them doing an espionage Black Widow movie. They, even though it's a different genre almost to the superhero movies, they could totally do it. And they wanted to make an espionage sort of movie based around Ant-Man. And it's something I was talking about Jake when we got out of the movie. He thinks Ant-Man espionage movie makes more sense than a Black Widow one. And I get where that comes from because Black Widow on her own might not be an interesting character, but if they're talking about it and considering it, obviously they think she's interesting enough to do.
Yeah.
And she's pretty interesting in the movies, I think. When it alludes to some of the past and stuff and you're like, ooh, what's going on there?
Yeah.
It's just, I think it's enough of a teaser that if they expand upon it and show like, I don't know how I'd want it to go. Because if it was just, look at Black Widow's story, I'd be like, I'm not really into that. Especially now that we've seen her enough times, it's like, we don't need a backstory.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that if Marvel is seriously considering it, they have obviously thought enough about it to think it's a good idea. Well, because what have they done recently that's been bad?
Nothing.
So, they've obviously got their stuff sorted, so we'll see what happens. I don't know. He says they're committing to it, but that could end up not being a thing anyway. So, who knows? But all the fans want it, so I don't know.
I'd be interested to see how they tackled it.
Yeah.
If they did go ahead.
I'd be very interested as well. Well, we're coming up to about the 20-minute mark, and we now have 20 minutes to talk about Captain America Civil War.
Okay. So
But before we start, before we enter the spoiler territory,
I was about to.
I'm going to do like a sick little shout out here to Krista Pfeiffer, also known as Death Cthulhu. He wanted me to mention him on the show because Battlefield 1 just got announced.
Yeah.
Did you know it was called that?
Yeah.
Did we talk about this already?
Yes.
The next Battlefield is called Battlefield 1, which is, yeah, we did talk about this. It's
so silly.
very silly name. It's just like calling your console the Xbox One.
Who would do that?
But yeah, he wanted me to mention it because EA made a big point of being like, nobody's going to guess what the next Battlefield's going to be, and everyone goes, it's going to be a World War One game.
Yeah.
And now it's a World War One game. So shout out to all the fans that guessed it, I guess.
Yeah.
And
come on the show.
he also wanted me to mention it because he works in like retail, so he's going to be distributing this game to customers, and it's going to be very hard for him to explain that when parents come in saying their kid wants the newest Battlefield, and he goes, oh yeah, Battlefield 1. They're going to be like, no, the newest one.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, it's a bit of a weird decision, EA. They should just call it Battlefield 5 or like, I don't know. They could have done something to make it stand out as the new one.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, Battlefield New Order. Who knows?
They could have thought of something.
They had so many good ideas they could have done. But anyway, there you go, Chris. If you're listening, I talked about it. I can't talk about it much more because I don't care much about Battlefield.
Wrecked.
But, is that wrecked on Battlefield?
Wrecked.
I don't know. I saw a bit of it. I don't know. But I saw a bit of it and it looked pretty cool. And World War One stuff's pretty good.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be... What?
You said it looked pretty cool.
Looked pretty cool. I didn't even do that deliberately.
Yeah.
If you don't know what I'm
That's
referring to, it's a funny video. And I'll have to like link it or something now. If I remember to. Maybe I'll write it down.
Yeah. Alright, so... This people listening in from now on, there will be spoilers about Captain America Civil War. So, viewer discretion is advised.
Yeah,
Please.
we're not going to be like careful about this. It's going to be blatant spoilers.
Please.
If you saw the Batman v Superman podcast, we're just going to go wild.
Don't talk about spoilers directly in the comments either.
Yeah, if you could not comment spoilers, that'd be wonderful. Yeah. Even though we like to hear you guys comment back, it's like
if you want to
sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Like go to Twitter. Go to Twitter and direct message us. Do that.
Or
we'll talk to you then.
We'll start like a forum.
Join my Slack group. But yeah, spoilers, big spoilers. This is your final warning.
Alright, still here?
You still here? Get the hell out if you don't want spoilers. Alright, so we went and saw Civil War today. Is that your phone or mine?
This is mine.
I should probably turn mine to silent while I think of it. Oh, it's already on silent. Nope. It's on vibrate. I should put it to actual silent. We went and saw Civil War today.
We went and saw Civil War.
A bit later than we probably should have, but
yes.
There was just, I didn't have money, Matt didn't have money, so we had to wait for that. But now we've seen it, and I have to say, it was bloody fantastic.
Oh yeah, it was a damn good movie.
It was such a damn fine movie. Better than Avengers 2, I'd say.
Yeah.
I loved it a lot more.
For shiz.
So, if you don't know what the premise of the movie is, but you're still listening to the spoilers for some reason, the idea behind Civil War is that, how exactly should I explain this? Like, how deep?
Well,
basically, the Avengers are in trouble because, of all the incidents they've caused, even though they helped out in these incidents, and now the government wants them to, like, sign up to a program. In the comic books, it was like a program where their identities would be published, but they don't really care about their identities in this one, in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, so it's just... They signed...
it was just having, like, a governing force above them.
They signed the Accords, and they're no longer a private organisation, because Avengers is now private ever since the first movie, or something like that, or... No, Winter Soldier is when S.H.I.E.L.D. dissolves.
So they just had to be accountable for what they were doing. And
they basically sign the Accords and they become governed by the United Nations and like a committee that would sign off on whether they do stuff or not. And then that causes tension because there's like members of the Avengers that are like, yeah, I'm going to sign that. And then there's members of the Avengers that are like, nah, I'm not signing that.
Yeah.
So that basically leads to Civil War where they fight each other because, why not?
Yeah. I was still really hoping, like, right up until, like, the thing happened with everyone dying, whatever, that they would take it in a direction like it was in the comics, just so that they could possibly introduce Speedball, so that they could possibly
love
towards,
Speedball.
Yeah.
And Penance and all that jazz.
Go towards Penance, that would be amazing. I love
it.
But, alas.
I don't know if the world is ready for Speedball.
No, definitely not, but I am.
You should sit closer to the microphone.
I'm going to be ready for Speedball and Penance for the next, like... however long it takes to come out, which it probably won't ever come out, but still. Well,
considering the Inhumans just got replaced, who knows, man?
Yeah.
But that's... Let's not get started.
Stop saying that, okay? I'm still in denial.
Let's continue with the good thing that we're talking about.
Yeah.
So, do you want to go first? Or
No.
I'll talk a bit first. So it was very cool. They introduced all the characters that we didn't know very well. So like Black Panther, and there was, well, for me at least, Bucky. I didn't really know heaps because I have not seen Winter Soldier for some reason. But
punch him, guys.
Bucky was very easily to understand. That wasn't good English. Easily to understand. He was very easy to understand.
Yeah.
Even though I didn't know anything about him, they got through the point of him being like a sleeper agent pretty easily.
Yeah.
So it's pretty approachable for people that don't know Marvel too well.
Yeah.
I liked Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Oh, he was so good.
Yeah.
The actor for Spider-Man, top pick.
Tom Holland, well done.
Tom Holland is a genius.
You want to be on the show?
Tom Holland would be on the show. And he just portrayed both sides of the character so well.
Yeah.
Like, I was stunned. Like, a minute into seeing him as Peter Parker, I was like, good job.
Yeah.
And then a minute into seeing him as Spider-Man, I was like, good job.
Yeah,
I was like,
he was
oh my
good.
goodness.
Awesome character. Well
and
played.
seeing him, like, web sling and flip through things, I was like, I want to see the full movie now.
Yeah.
So they've done a good job of generating hype for something else through this.
Exactly. It was very smart that they didn't focus like that. Okay, Spider-Man wasn't in it for very long. It was only a couple scenes.
Oh yeah, he
But
was not in it for a long time.
I think that was a very good idea because it
even
would
though-
have turned into a Spider-Man centric movie.
Even though I wanted to see more of him once he was gone, and like the movie ended, and I realized he didn't appear again, apart from an after credit sequence. I was like, that was enough Spider-Man.
Yeah, it's just a taste of what's to come.
You know, it's
like,
really
pretty
infuriating though.
What?
Earlier this week, or I guess the week just over, I think it might have been the end of last week, I stumbled across an article that said Spider-Man was in Captain America for too long. I was like, what? And that's when I had the thing about Giant Man spoiled for me.
Yeah.
And that's when I closed the article and refused to read it.
Yeah.
In case you're wondering what we're talking about, in the movie Ant-Man, who's a spectacular character as well, and Paul Rudd does a very good
I
job.
liked him so much better in this than I did in Ant-Man movie.
Really?
Yeah, like this kind of.
I don't know
when
why
he interacted with everyone, I was like, this is definitely more Ant-Man.
I think they changed something about his costume because something about it didn't look the same. Because I just watched Ant-Man the other day, so
His mask was a bit longer.
I think that might be what it
out from
was.
his face.
Every time I saw him in that movie, I was like, "What's up with his costume?"
Yeah.
I didn't mention it to anyone in the movie, but something really threw me with his costume, and I don't know what it was.
Yeah, it was slightly different.
I hope they fix it. But he was very good in this, and he has a weird plan that he comes up with when they're fighting.
Yeah.
Because he's on Cap's team.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's on Captain America's team because Falcon knows him.
As
Which
soon
also,
as-
when he gets introduced to Captain America, that was so funny
Yeah.
and so awkward. He's like, "Oh, it's Captain America," and then he like touches his biceps, and you're like, "What are you doing, man?"
so good. It's totally how you react.
Oh yeah, he's just fanboys.
Yeah. And I like it when he's in the jail bit and he's like pretending to be all badass.
Yeah, he's like,
And then-
Hank Pym always said I should never trust the Stark.
Yeah.
And then Tony Stark's like, "Who are you?"
He's like, come on, man.
Yeah, he's like, "Oh man," it's like in the Ant-Man movie when he meets Falcon, and he just goes, Falcon's like, "Who
Yeah.
are you?" He's like, "I'm Ant-Man," and he just laughs. He's like, "I didn't choose the name."
Yeah. I like that. Yeah, when he was like, oh, I've tried this once before. I split myself almost. If I split myself in half, whatever.
Yeah.
And I was like, he's going giant.
He makes like last ditch effort to help out Cap's team in getting away, and he says if he splits in half, just leave him behind. And then he does stuff
Yeah.
on his wrist computer and like jumps and grabs Falcon, and then boom, Giant Man.
As he said, he had a big plan. I was like, he's going giant. He's going giant. Yes.
It's funny because I was sitting there thinking about it, and I was like, is he going to do the same thing he did with his regulator when he turns it off in Ant-Man? Ant-Man spoilers, but he turns it off and shrinks to like the microscopic level.
Yeah.
But no, he went the opposite way, and I was
Yeah.
like, that's very cool.
I knew he was going to do it, and I was like, yes, this is going to be sick.
I find it funny I wasn't expecting that, even though I read the spoiler about Giant Man, but
Yeah.
I just had no idea what was going to happen. But I'm very happy it did, because that was cool. And he's like, "Oh, I'm giant now."
Yeah. This is so cool.
And it's cool because the thing I like the most about Ant-Man is that when he shrinks down, the smallest environments can become like a battle stage.
Yeah.
Like when he fights Yellow Jacket on the train tracks. I was
Yeah.
like, when I saw it in the trailer, I was sold on the movie.
Yeah.
Thanks, Lil.
So
Hey,
it's good.
come over here.
It was good that they didn't like focus all his fights on tiny things again.
Yeah, this time they were like, let's just take the airport and he'll be the big,
Yeah.
like, giant focus of it. And then
I mean, he
everyone's
did go small a few times. So
flying around that.
that's around with Tony.
Yeah, there's a cool little shot when he's running through Iron Man's armor
Yeah, we'll see something.
and the
This is
water
your
suppression
conscience.
system.
We don't talk much lately.
Yeah. That was awesome. That was some very good dialogue.
Yeah.
Oh, man, there's so many good things to just gush over in that movie.
Yeah. Like,
It's such a good movie.
okay, so you already know this, but someone we know complained that there was too many characters just crammed into the movie, and it felt like almost suffocating because there were so many characters packed in. But like most of them aren't in it for very long, and the ones that are, it is not packed in heaps. There's plenty of air.
None of it felt packed in. Like, Black Panther, this is the first time we've seen him, and my
Yeah.
main concern was that we wouldn't know enough about him
Yeah.
to like feel anything or like care about him, but no, it was
Yeah,
perfect.
it's awesome.
Like, all I know about Black Panther is he's from Wakanda
Yeah.
in the comics, and the only thing we pretty much learn about him in this is he's from Wakanda.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, that's the only thing I know. And then I saw him in the movie, I was like, cool, this
Yeah.
guy is actually really cool. Makes me keen to see his solo movie too.
Yeah, same. Yeah. As soon as I saw him like in the costume, I was like, "This is yeah."
Oh, there's one thing I meant to
more.
point out. In the credits, their names cast their characters' shadows. Did you notice that?
What do you mean?
It's like it cast shadows of things that were relevant to the characters. So when it
right.
had the actor... Billy, that's a toy car. It's not food. I'm going to hit you. Idiot. When the light went on... what are you doing?
For you to edit, to cut that out.
I'll probably just leave it in.
Sick.
When the light shone on, what's his name's, the actor for Black Panther's name,
Yeah.
it made the shape of his weird pendant thing that he wears
Okay.
around his outfit. And it did the same for like Captain America. It made like his shield, and Iron Man, it made like what looked like his mask.
Yeah.
It was really cool.
That is cool.
It reminds me of, was it the end of Ultron that they had that cool like marble sculpture thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was awesome.
That was
In
so
like
cool.
immense detail.
I love that.
One thing I especially liked is seeing more of not Black Widow, Scarlet Witch.
Yeah.
I don't know why I keep getting them too confused.
Yeah.
Every time someone says
'Cause
Scarlet Witch,
Scarlett
I think of Black Widow and I go, oh, she sucks. And then someone's like, what? But no, Scarlet Witch is awesome.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
I
she's a really
very
cool
much
character.
liked seeing more of her in this. And also seeing her sort of struggle as well, because Tony Stark locks her up at the Avengers compound. No.
Mhm.
Is the Avengers compound or is it some other place?
It's this sea
They-
fortress thing.
He locks her up somewhere and she's got like a penthouse suite and all sorts of
Oh
stuff.
right, no, yeah, that's yeah,
I think it might be an Avengers compound.
yeah, something like that.
And
I don't know.
she's sort of like, oh, I have to stay here because she's worried about how much everyone fears her. And there's even a weird relationship with her and Vision. And Vision's trying to tell her that he's not afraid of her and that the whole world will not be afraid of her at some point. They'll accept her as a hero.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool to see her struggle with that as well. And then deciding, no, I don't want to be locked up. I'm going to go fight for what I believe in. And I was like, yes.
Yeah.
That was really cool.
And I'm glad Vision wasn't like in Age of Ultron. I was like, why isn't Vision more powerful, whatever? But in this one, I was really glad Vision wasn't like ridiculously
Oh, yeah.
powerful.
Because it wouldn't have made sense. He would have just destroyed everyone.
Yeah, and there would be no point in the movie.
What I'm very interested in, though, is that Scarlet Witch seems to be just as powerful as Vision.
Mm.
And I'm
Yeah.
like, oof. I want to see more of what you got going on, Scarlet
I
Witch.
know, right? Let's see her solo movie.
Yes! Oh my goodness, that is so much a better idea.
Yeah.
Wow, Marvel, get onto that.
Come on, guys, hire us.
So, the point we're at in the movie now. Oh. Yeah, so when they go to chase the villain, who was revealed as Baron Zemo.
Yeah,
Either Baron
caught that
Zemo
right
or the
near
younger
beginning.
Zemo.
Yeah.
I'm not sure who it is at the moment, but Zemo is like the main villain, and he's going off to find a bunch of soldiers like the Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
And Steve Rogers and that assume it's to activate them and use them as his own.
Yeah, but
so
it was
like,
actually to start a band, which I think was a really cool idea.
there's a joke that Matt made in the movie about there being a band involved. I missed it, but Sarah was laughing for like 20 minutes afterwards.
That's awesome.
She missed the whole fight scene.
Pretty funny.
Oh, Zemo was so clever in that movie.
Yeah.
Like, I did not even see it coming straight away
Yeah,
until the
neither.
very last moment.
Yeah.
So basically, he lures... Lily, leave it alone. He lures Steve Rogers and Bucky Barnes there, and then Iron Man catches them up, and they sort of have a temporary truce, because they're on opposite sides, obviously.
Yeah.
And they all go in there to find out what's going on. And also, Black Panther follows them, but doesn't ever interact with them. But they go in there, thinking they're going to find Zemo activating all the Winter Soldiers, but when they come in, Iron Man's like, oh no, there's only one heat signature. And you're like, what the hell's going on there? And you find that Zemo just killed them all. And they're like, why have you done this? He's like, just to show you this video. And then it's a video. And it links back to the start of the movie, which is really cool. I kept wondering what that scene was supposed to be about. Bucky's on a mission in like 1991, and he smashes his car up and then takes stuff from the back of it. But then we see the full thing, and it's actually Tony Stark's parents
Yeah.
dying. And I was like, you crafty bastard, Zemo. This
Yeah.
is the whole point, was just to get them here. There's no other
I
point.
think that was so smart. Like,
It's like they misled us into thinking it was about the Winter Soldier guys.
Because I think they kind of played on the fact that like the previous like Avengers movies and that have been kind of predictable. Like everyone kind of knew basically where it go. So you're like, okay, so this is what's gonna happen. And then it gets there, it was like wrong.
They ruined it,
and you're like, what?
and in a good way. Like,
Yeah.
as the
Tree for
clip was
loop.
starting and I saw the car crashing, that's when it hit me. I've gone, Stark's parents are in that car. I was like 1991. And then I remember earlier on when he shows off the VR goggles and he's in that environment with his parents, I was like, that's why that scene was there.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, it wasn't just because
I
he
wanted
could be
to
at
make
the...
that while that scene was
It
there.
wasn't just so he could be at the expo and show off his technology and, like, talk to the students and be like, oh, you get money and you get money.
Yeah.
And so that chick could give him the photo or whatever. Yeah. It was for that reason alone that later on you'd be like, oh, his parents.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Oh, because they never really hinted at his anguish about that at all until now. And it's like, now you realise and you're like, oh.
But I think it was done so well that it wasn't... You didn't feel like there was two storylines going on at once that were ripping the movie apart, that it was like too overcrowded with plot points and whatever. It was Civil War happening and this Baron Zemo happening.
Yeah.
And they just worked so well together.
It worked very well and it was so good. So good.
Oh, yeah.
That basically the point we're at now that we're discussing is pretty much the last section of the movie. There's some cool fight scene with Bucky and Steve fighting Iron Man.
Yeah. But we won't spoil that.
We will. Steve wins. Oh, I was so worried that Steve was going to lose and die.
Yeah.
Like, I thought Iron Man was going to kill him for sure.
I thought like as that fight scene was going, like this is a really good place for him to die, and like for them
Especially
all to realize like how serious it was.
Especially when Iron Man said stay down, and then he stood up, and then that wide shot of the area behind him, he stands up, he's just like that. I was like,
he's going out.
Oh.
But then when what's it? Captain America started like smacking his helmet and that, and like for a second, Tony Stark went limp, and like when he hit his head on the thing and that, I was like, oh, what if he died? That would be so good as well.
Oh, like for a sick twist because everyone thinks that Steve Rogers is going to die.
Yeah, because then that way, like it would have been that Captain America was like, we don't need like people to govern us. We can take care of ourselves.
He was like, maybe we do.
Yeah, like that would have been like crazy. But yeah. Still,
I'm kind of interested with how it's gone now because at the end, Steve leaves a note. Or he has a note shipped to Tony Stark, which, by the way, is Stan Lee's cameo as a FedEx employee. It's funny though. It's very funny. I turned to Jake. I was like, "They just let FedEx employees drive up to the front of the Avengers compound, do they?" Yeah. I was like, "Okay," but it doesn't really take you away from the movie. It was just funny. Yeah. But anyway, there's a note from Steve, and the way he says it all, it's like exactly how the Avengers movies went. Without like, when you need us, you can call on us. That's how Steve responds to Tony. He's like, when you need us, you can call on us. And it seems like there's the Avengers. Sick one. There's now the Avengers, which is Tony Stark, Black Widow, blah, 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 his team. Yeah. And then Steve Rogers' team that's split off with Ant-Man and all that. Because he breaks them out at the end from their prison. They're like the alternate Avengers. Because there's multiple Avengers teams in the comics, isn't there?
Yep.
So, that's kind of cool.
The thing about that prison thing, as soon as I saw, like, when he went into it, I was like, oh, and it showed, like, jail cells and that, even though no one was in it. I was like, that's the prison, because in the comics, there's this, like, alternate dimension prison. And, there's, when Civil War's breaking out and whatever, and there's going to be, like, this actual sick war, and, like, all these people are being taken by Tony Stark and whoever's helping them capture all these vigilantes and whatever, so there's, like, hundreds of them in there. And then, I can't remember who, I might just be Captain America or someone gets captured, like, and Tony's like, I've won this. But then he's like, no, I wanted to be in here. And then all of them get broken out. And then, like, there's this huge thing that goes on. And I was kind of hoping something like that would happen, but it didn't. But the fact that they brought the prison thing into it still in a different way was cool. Yeah,
it was very cool. It was a very cool design as well for the prison. Yeah. Where it comes out of the water and opens up. I was like, whoa.
It's like me.
But yeah, I just like the idea of there being now a new team of Avengers going on. And yeah, I'm just really excited for where everything's going. Civil War was such a masterpiece. I'm so happy with it. Yeah. It could not have gone any better.
I'm super happy. I'm definitely keen to see what's happening next.
Anyway, I think that about brings us to the end of our Civil War discussion.
Let us know what you think, guys.
And our podcast.
Like, comment, favorite, subscribe, share things.
Sick mumbling. Matt said like, comment, favourite.
Share, subscribe.
Share, subscribe. Yeah, and if you've got anything else you want us to talk about, put it in the comments. If it's Marvel related, we'll probably talk about it because that seems to be the majority of our podcasts lately. But yeah, it's going to be good times with Marvel for the next 1,000,000 years.
Thanks for listening, guys.
Hey, boy.
Bye.